All right, so we're going to wait for this 5-minute range to start to form. What are we? We got 30 seconds left. All right, I can start drawing out the highs pretty much. That high is going to be set. We're going down. Oh, we'll see. I mean, so this 5-minute range just closed. I mean, let's look at the higher time frame and see what's going on. So, all right, there's the hourly chart. All right, we're below that 200 on the hourly chart. We got some liquidity down there that we could potentially, what I would like to see if we do get a bounce up to kind of take out this liquidity down here, close outside the range and start pushing back into the range. That's the hourly chart. 15-minute chart. We got same thing, kind of got that low down there. All right, kind of respecting this bearish imbalance right there. So still pushing down. 5-minute chart, sort of the same thing. I would like that low to get taken out. We got room. That's the good thing. We got a lot of room. If this thing starts, the range is actually nice. The range is actually nice today. All right, what was I gonna? Oh wow, we're pushing back up. Give me a second. I think we got some news today, I think. Actually, there was, you know the thing, there was news and I think it got canceled. Yeah, there was. We had tentative news. We had news today, but because of the government shutdown, we're kind of off. So no news today. Come on, I need a good trade today. I didn't get a trade yesterday. We need something good today. Give me something. What the heck? Why does it do that? Is it me or is that? Alright, I want to see us push out of this range. I want to see us start closing outside this range. We got a big 5-minute range set, so that's really good. We're below the view op, so we're in bearish territory overall. We still are in bearish territory, so... Pushing up to this, these two bearish imbalances just got filled, so we filled this last one and now we're going down. We got view op pretty far up there. View op is all the way up, all the way up here. And I think that's, let me see real quick. Ah, crap. Hold on. Give me a second, I'll be back. Holy crap. Wow, I did not expect that. I expected this thing to go for those lows. All right. All right, we're pushing up to view op. Yeah, it's MNQs. See, all right, we closed outside this range now to the top. Let's see what happens here. We still got low. We still got that low down there. We haven't taken out. It's pre-market low. So pre-market low is still down there. I'll be looking at this point. I'm looking for a short. Initially, I was looking for a long, but it never took out that low down there. It never closed below. So now I'll be looking for a short entry. If we could get a short entry off this. Oh, my bad. Freaking charts all the way to the side. May take out those those highs up there. If you look on the 15-minute chart, we got these highs up here on the 15-minute. So maybe it comes up here, it kind of takes out these highs, and then we start kind of making a downward trend. We are pretty bearish, as you could see overall. I mean, all pre-market we're pretty bearish. Let's see what happens here. See if it takes out those highs. At least some of them. I'm not saying all of them, but we do got a lot of highs up there that stacked. We're pushing up to VWAP. We're pretty much rejecting off VWAP right now. Or we're exactly at VWAP. So if it can push through a little bit, push through VWAP just a little bit, just to take out those highs. Let me see if I could show you actually. Right, so you could see right here. There's VWAP right there. So pretty much rejecting right off of VWAP. I was trying to hold this higher here. Getting some sellers trying to push it down, but it's going to be tough to push it through VWAP. I mean, it's usually an area where we get some chops, so see if they have it in them. Now, what I'm kind of looking for right now personally is, for me, it doesn't necessarily have to take out those highs. For me, I want to see a bearish imbalance back inside this range. So pretty much sellers to step in aggressive enough to leave a bearish imbalance. And then that's kind of my cue. I would prefer those highs to get taken out, personally. But for me, in my strategy, it doesn't have to happen. It's not one of my, it's not one of my rules that has to happen. So I would prefer it, though. It gives me more confidence, but we'll see. Right now, it's having a hard time. It's trying to hold this support level. Previous resistance turned into support. See if sellers could step in aggressive enough to start really pushing this back down. See how this candle here, the sellers coming in. Sellers are coming in. All right, we'll see. Depending on how the next 1 minute candle closes, will tell me a lot. Kind of bouncing off that, trying to bounce off the 200, rejecting off the VWAP, bouncing off the 200. Nope. So no chance of a gap yet. It's all right. Let price kind of structure and form itself. Like I said, I prefer it to go for those highs, personally. And coming back up. Trying to mark out at least some of these. I'm watching those highs. All right, trying to push it. We still aren't there. So there's a couple set of highs up there. The first set of highs and then the second set. They're super close to each other though. Don't be paying attention if it just takes out both sets or one set. I'll show you what I'm kind of talking about here. 15-minute chart. Right, so you got kind of this first set of highs right here, and then this second set of highs right there. So kind of these two sets. Right, good. Man, freaking. Still pushing. All right. There's that first set of highs. So I just check out the first set. Let's see if it could go for the second set. All right, there's the second set. So it took out both sets of highs. We'll see what happens now. I mean, if this thing starts really breaking through, and we're gonna keep going up. Now the magical part is this 5-minute range. Is this 5-minute range gonna hold as support, or will it start breaking up? You know, I would like to see it start breaking back inside the range, but this thing is still pushing. Got a couple bearish imbalances up there, but gosh, we'll see. We just pushed above UOP, so we're not, you know, we're barely above UOP, so this thing could still reverse. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting that. Come on. Fudge, still pushing. We're going for that imbalance. There's an imbalance there on the 15-minute, but man, watch Dow to trade NQ up 450, getting scared now. I mean, take profits. Don't be that person that gets greedy and doesn't take profits. I mean, understand that this thing is not going to go up forever. So always have a I would say to people, always have a target set in place. Whatever your target is, it has to make sense. Yeah, it's at that pivot. Going for that pivot. Man, we're at this point, man, we are surprisingly when that 15-minute candle closes. Oh man, I was not hoping for it to do this. Hoping it breaks out. Target is 25,973. Yeah, I mean, not a bad target. Now this 15-minute, 10 o'clock, right? That 5 minutes. 5 minutes for that new 15-minute candle to open, and we're closing super bullish. So, I mean, that new 15-minute candle opens, we could get a pullback, but as long as it holds this 5-minute range, it's bullish. Yeah, that's the thing. You never know. Stairs up, elevator down. We could. Never know how it's going to react. I mean, at this point, it's closing pretty bullish. I would assume it's going to have a pullback and then kind of to go back up. This thing is just straight shot to the upside. Freaking crazy. At this point, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Second day in a row that I'm just like sitting on the sidelines here. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for that one good trade. That's pretty much what I'm doing. All I need is one good trade. 1 to 2 good trades a week for me. Rejecting off the view up. I mean the freaking pivot. Sorry. Gosh, that range is freaking insane now. Yeah, don't be greedy. Understand? I mean, the thing about it is I don't know your strategy, so I can't tell you, but yeah, don't be greedy. Don't try to go for some crazy. What I learned about the market, this is just for me. I take base hits. For me. I find myself, every time I get greedy, I find myself just taking losses and losses and losses. So, I don't think there's news today. I don't think there's news because we have what it was. There was news, but I think because of the government shutdown, it's tentative. It was weird because a couple days ago I think there was a time for it, 10 a.m. or whatever, but now it just says tentative, so no news is coming out at 10 a.m. We're still trying to push, so. I mean, who's buying? If you're buying up here at this point, you're asking to get torn apart. Like, this thing could reject at any moment. Or it could go up. But, I mean, we are pretty overbought at this point. So it might go there. Yeah, I mean, it might go there, yeah, for sure. It's not like out of the, but what was I gonna do? check something. Oops. We're still pushing up, man. It's another day, another freaking... Wait for a pullback has to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna pull back at some point. The question is how deep is the pullback gonna be? Right under liquidity swing high. Yeah, so you got to look at how I look at it, where price is likely to, like, a high probability, right? I understand that there are gaps in the way, then there's kind of this, there's certain levels that get in the way for price to continue to push. And the more stuff in the way, the more likelihood it could reject off that area. So when you start to push up, kind of look out for, kind of like this level could be a resistance level. This bottom could be a resistance, all these levels could be a resistance for price. These gaps could be a resistance. Bro, at this point, holy crap. Just look at this 15-minute candle. It's just closed all the way at the top. That's super bullish. Gave it all back shorted? Why'd you short? Why'd you short when we're screaming to the upside? Yeah, this is now a pretty decent support level here. So now we kind of broke. Now this kind of like all these highs down here are a pretty decent support level, and view op is there too. So here, give me a second. Someone's here. I'll be back in a second. Really? Really? Bro, I honestly, I hope today's not one of those days where we get this push up and then we just get sideways movement to the side. I hope today's not one of those days. In a short again. Oh my gosh. Bro, be careful. Thing about trying to catch a short up here is price is not... This is why I tell people and I preach wait for confirmations. Like, price isn't confirming that it wants to go down. Like, they're still pushing this up. So, in my eyes, until they confirm that this thing wants to go down... And this is also why you have to have a set of rules. In my opinion, you have to have a set of rules, criteria for your trades, so you're not constantly chasing. Like, for me personally, if I take a loss, I'm not entering that same trade again. Like, you've seen me. If you've seen my lives enough, and you've seen me take a loss before, I mean, what's happened before is I've had situations where, for example, I would get in a long right here. Price would come down. Sometimes this is rare. This doesn't happen often, but it could happen where price takes you out and then rips completely in your direction where you originally wanted to go, but it stops you out first. I don't chase those trades because it's like if it stopped me out, it is what it is. Because what'll happen is sometimes I also found myself before when I chase trades. I'd get stopped out. Oh, it'd confirm back to the upside. I would hop in again, get stopped out again, and now you just lost twice as much money on the same trade, pretty much. So my general rule of thumb is if I get stopped out on a setup, I don't take that setup anymore. I have to wait for something else. But I'm a pretty big proponent of find one good setup a day and then walk away. That's it. I'm not a big fan of sitting here trading the whole time, all day or half the day till. I used to want to do that when I was like a beginner trader. Now at this point, I mean, I've been trading full time for 3 years. I'm at the point where I'm just like, I just want one good setup a day and that's it. That's all I want. I don't want to sit here and scalp a million setups. I don't want to sit here and freaking try to guess every move. Give me one good setup. And it doesn't happen, every day. I mean, look, I didn't get a setup yesterday. Like I said, I'm at the point, I have 7, right? I have 7 funded accounts. So, making almost what? $2,800 a day on these accounts. I really don't need... to catch a move every single day of the week. Right? 2 good trades a week for me could be over $20,000 a month. So this is also why I'm patient. So we're still trying to reject off that pivot point too. That pivot point's holding. We've also came up to that bearish imbalance right there. We actually haven't took out the second one. We kind of filled the first one. We have not filled the second one just yet. If you see to the left right there, there's a tiny bearish imbalance and there's kind of a low right there that could be resistant. So there's a lot of resistance in this area and we got a pivot point. So it's kind of why price is having a hard time in this area. That pivot point's holding up good. Look at before. This pivot point held up. Look how this pivot point held up today at like 5 in the morning. Look at that. These pivot points are helpful for me when if I'm in a trade. So if I was in a long, for example, this is how I use indicators. I personally think I use indicators the way they're meant to be used. A lot of people use indicators, especially new traders. they try to get indicators to take entries off of. Like, people trying to short right here just because we're at a pivot point. Like, that's the only reason they're trying to short, is because there's a pivot right there. That's not how it's meant to be used. If I'm in a long, if I get a setup, say I was in a long position right here, and say my target, I had some kind of a high up here, and my target was like right above the pivot point. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm gonna take profits potentially right under that pivot point early, because in my mind, I know that it's gonna come up to that pivot and it could reject off that pivot. So for me not risking, you know, being greedy for an extra 20 points, I would rather just give up those 20 points and take profits early, because I know there's a pivot there. And you can see what's kind of happening now. Look at that, rejection off pivot, going down. So if I was in a long, now you're in a situation where you're like, crap, this thing is pulling back. What should I do? And you're panicking. All right, pulling back to VWAP. Pretty interesting to see if it holds this support. I'm interested to see, do we start holding all these highs now as support? Or if we start breaking back inside this 5-minute range, that's a pretty red flag for, like, I would say for bulls. If we start breaking back in, closing back in, who knows? I mean, that would be a kind of a confirmation for me that we may want to go for those lows again. But as of now, we're above VWAP, we're above the 200, we're still bullish territory. Like I said, general rule of thumb is anytime we're above VWAP, we're in bullish territory. Below VWAP, bearish territory. And you could see right here, let me switch it. Right, so you can see what's going on here. Wait a second. Right there. So we're rejecting off this pivot point. And there's the VWAP. So it's coming up to that VWAP area. So what I'm saying is interesting to see what it does at this VWAP. Are we going to get a bounce off it, or are we going to start dropping through it? Got half back on the short. That's good. But here's the thing. If you took a short and it was your strategy, that's all good. But if you took a short because you revenge traded, it doesn't matter if you made money. Like, it's still a horrible trade even if you made money. Just understand that. Like, I'm not saying anyone did that here. I'm just saying if that's something you do, understand that you making money, not following your system, is not a W in the end of the day, because you're just gonna give it back anyways. And what I see a lot of traders do, especially new traders, they get stuck in, what happens is they'll take a setup, right? And they'll have their entry. Say they get stopped out on the first setup. They get stopped out. And then when they take another setup, what they tend to do is now they're going for a bigger target just because they want to make back their loss and to be in profit. So now, like, the more of a hole they dig themselves in, the more greedy they get because they want to get back to that, you know, area where they were. And it's a nasty spiral, because the greedier you get, the more losses you could take, and it's just like spirals downhill from there. I don't know. Ninja Trader doesn't have VWAP. It's spelled VWAP. Ninja Trader doesn't have VWAP for some reason. I don't know why they don't have it. It may be like a paid thing that you could do. I think you could get you could get it. I mean, people have coded it and stuff. You could buy it to add it to NinjaTrader. I don't know why they don't have it as a free indicator. It's crazy. It's like the most popular indicator out there. Maybe that's why they do it, because it's the most popular. But I use it for, I have Thinkorswim back when I traded options. So I still have the platform and the charting and everything. So they have ViewUp on there. So I just use that chart for my ViewUp. I mean, a ViewUp is pretty much, it's pretty much around the area where this 200 is. They're always pretty close to each other. So it's like always in this general area of next to the 200. So this is going to be a warning sign for bulls. If we pop up and we start rejecting this kind of, and you can see what's going on in price right there. Right, we made that high. We kind of tried to bounce right here. We tried to bounce off this high right here. We failed it. We pulled back. Now we're pushing up and we're rejecting off that support level. Turned into resistance level. So now if it rejects off this level, it starts dumping down. That's starting to change structure, possibly back up to the downside. We're getting right. We got a high. We swept the high, failed to break the high again, and now we're making a lower high. So if this makes a lower high, starts dropping below, could be a warning sign of you know, for bulls. How do you use ViewUp to trade? Learn from TGR. He doesn't use indicators. So I have indicators. I agree. Indicators, you should not use indicators to take trades off of. That's a trap a lot of new traders get trapped in. And it's something I got trapped in because I thought when I started trading, I started to look for that indicator. Like ViewUp, the 200, all right, the cross, like I started to look for the indicator that was gonna like be the indicator that I could just buy off of. Oh, it pulls back to the indicator, let me buy and then make money long term. There's no indicator that you could really use to just constantly, you know, profit all the time off of. So the way I use indicators is if I do, like TJR, you said, right? He trades pretty much price action. He's strictly price action. I'm the same way. I trade strictly price action. My entries for a trade are all based on price action. No indicators involved. Now that being said, the reason I do have indicators on my chart is because I understand, for example, ViewUp is going to be an area where it could hold as support. ViewUp is a popular indicator. Even hedge funds use ViewUp. So, a very popular indicator that if I'm in a trade and I have a target and my target is, you know, has to push through ViewUp, I won't be greedy. I'll take profits a little early just because I know that we could bounce off ViewUp. So that's kind of how I use it. If I'm in a trade, I use these indicators or this pivot point indicator. If I'm in a trade, I understand that we could reject off this pivot point, so I would think about potentially taking profits before this pivot point, like right before it, so that I don't get caught in this right here pullback. So that's how I use indicators. But price action is the best. I mean, nothing beats price action. If you could learn just how to read price action, interesting to see what happens here. We do have a pretty big bullish imbalance on the 15-minute right here. So we do have this massive imbalance right there. So trying to push it. I mean, if they start breaking down this low, it'd be kind of a bad sign for the bulls. They are trying to push it back up. Basically looking at resistance to view op. Well, in this case, view op is support because we're above view op, so view op would hold it as support. If we're pushing up into view op, it'll be resistance. If we're holding view op, it's support. If we're above it. And view op is just the type of, I mean, it's second. Crap, what was I saying? You pay attention to gaps. Yeah, fair value gaps, imbalances. Yeah, I do pay attention to them. I mean, they work. That's the thing. Is my setup is my strategy has an imbalance in it, meaning it has to have an imbalance. I take entries off of imbalances or fair value gaps, whatever you want to call it. I was told by a pro, watch YM and trade NQ. I mean, yeah, the thing about it is everybody's different strategy. People watch different stuff. Like, I know somebody who trades, NQ and watches the dollar. Other people, trade NQ, watch ES. Trade NQ, watch this. And like, everyone watches something different. So I personally don't. I just watch NQ. I know a lot of people watch like ES for a divergence or something like that. It's not something I watch for. I'm just strictly looking at price action. That's it. And I have certain criteria, A, B, C, for me to get into a trade. This has to happen, then this has to happen, then this has to happen for me to enter a trade. But try it out. That's the thing. Try it out. Maybe it works. Like, what works for one person may not work for somebody else. That's the thing about trading and that's the thing about strategies too. You can have a good strategy that's profitable, but it just may not click with you. Like, it just doesn't click with you. You don't like it. You don't get it. And you really can't force something that you just have a hard time understanding. Or that you just don't get. I use the 200 EMA. Yeah, I have the 200 EMA. This gold line right here is the 200 EMA. This gold line right there. I mean, it works. Like, it's a good gauge. Also, it's like view op too. When we're above the 200, right, we're pretty bullish. And you can kind of see what happened even this morning, right? We pretty much pushed through it, and then we bounced off this 200. Right, and the cool thing about the 200 is it moves by different time frames. So, like, right, you can see the 200 right now is below on this 1 minute chart. 200 is below price. Let's see, when you go on, say, a 15-minute chart. Oh, wow. 200 is above the price now. Because it's calculating it, the 200, based on the previous 200 candles. And obviously, it's going to be different on different previous 200 candles on a 15-minute chart. It's going to be different than a 1 minute chart. So, and then you can see on an hourly chart what happens with the 200. I mean, look when we're holding above it. Now, see, be careful, because look in the hourly chart. We got a pivot. We got the 200. I mean, this could be a resistance level here. You could kind of see why price is having such a hard time getting through it. I mean, look at all the resistance we have up here. If you look on an hourly chart, see all these previous supports right here? All these previous supports now are holding as resistances. So that's why you see price kind of stalling up there and having a hard time getting through that. But you can kind of see, right, what we do, like even on an hourly chart. Look, we just been holding above this 200. Right now, just recently was the first time in a while that we broke that 200. And pay attention on hourly chart. We're tapping into a hourly bearish imbalance right there. So just stuff to look out for if you like, you know. And understand, like when I look on higher time frames, I understand why price stalled right there. Fully understand why price had a hard time getting through this area. And when you understand that, next time when you're in a long down here, you kind of understand that price could stall there because you've seen it happen before. And that's like the benefit of watching price action, understanding why price is doing what it's doing at a certain moment. Like when you see price stalling like this, try to figure out, well, okay, why is price having a hard time? It was pushing all the way, all morning. It was ripping to the upside, no problem. And then all of a sudden here, it started to have an issue. Why? You start to look on higher time frames, then you start to understand why price is having a hard time right there. Is it lagging? What do you mean by lagging? It's not, I mean, it's not lagging. It has a delay in it. It has a delay in it, but that's when you're streaming. It's gonna have a delay. All right, just broke the high. Is it glitchy? Is it glitchy? Yes. So I'm using oh, it is doing it. Shoot. Here, let me try something real quick, see if it helps. I don't know what. It's because I'm using TikTok's beta live studio thing, and I guess anytime you're in a beta program, yeah, I hear it. I wonder if it's